using the difference in the y's. So you subtract your y coordinates, and then you subtract your x coordinates. And again, it doesn't matter which ones you pick, but it does matter that you put the y's on top because the y's rise. Think about a y-axis. The y's rise, and the run is your x. So let's take, for example, 7/14 and 10/8. And again, you can pick any ones you want to. First thing you do is you find your y's. So the y points are right here. And I'm going to choose to go 14 minus 8. You could also go 8 minus 14. I will show you both of them. Now, because over here on this side, I did 14 minus 8, because these are the y's, then I have to go 7 minus 10. Because I started with the 14 here and went to the 8, I have to go 7 minus 10. So divided by 7 minus 10. Over here, because I started with the 8 and went 8 to the 14, now I have to go 10 minus 7. Whoops. So 10 minus 7. If I do the math, it should be the same on both. So if you actually subtract 14 minus 8, 6, and 7 minus 10, negative 3. And again, you want to make sure you simplify. So let's come up here because I'm on a space. Negative 6 over negative 3 equals a positive 2. Okay, let's go back down here and solve this one. So I have 8. Oh, pause. Hold on. This was not a negative sign. This should have been just a regular 6, so I guess I should have a negative 2 on that one. Okay, so now let's come over here. 8 minus 14, negative 6, 10 minus 7, 3. So either way, I get negative 2. Depending on which way you solve, it does not matter. So again, let's find the slope again. So again, we're going to do y's minus the y, and then x minus x. And it doesn't matter what you choose. So I'm going to choose positive numbers because I'd rather subtract positives. So I'm going to do 5, 2, and 3, 2. So again, your first job is to find the y's. Well, the y's are right here. So 2 minus 2, 0. And then 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5. So 3 minus 5 looks like it's a what? Negative 2. But when you simplify that, 0 divided by anything is 0. So this must be a slope of 0. So the next thing you're going to have to do is be able to identify the slope and the y-intercept given the equation. And this, again, is what we call slope-intercept form, because this is the slope and this is the intercept. So if you're given something like y equals 2x minus 2, well, the number squeezed with the x is your slope automatically, and the number down here by itself is your y-intercept. Y-intercept. If we have something like y equals x plus 8, and it looks like it doesn't have a slope. Well, if it doesn't have a number, it's going to be a 1. So again, your slope equals 1, and your intercept equals positive 8. So again, the m is the slope, the b is the intercept. If we have something like this that just says y equals 3x, well, again, if you're looking at the format, what it looks like it's missing is this plus b at the end. So if we added a number, it would have to be a 0, because if you add anything else, you're going to change the problem. So again, the slope is 3, and the intercept is 0. So the next thing is finding slope and intercept if your original equation is not in y equals mx plus b. So if you're in something like this, y equals mx plus b, and that's the way you want it, and your original equation looks like this, x plus 4y equals negative 10. Well, I can see that this equation is sort of all out of order. I'm trying to get it so that it says y equals. So what you're going to do is you're going to solve for this y. Well, in order to solve for this y, we have to figure out what's happening to it. So it's kind of like literal equations back in chapter 1. You need to get rid of the x, scoot it to the other side, and that takes care of that. And then we need to divide the whole thing by 4 because it's being squeezed with 4. So that cancels, leaving y left all by itself. Negative 10/4, we could reduce that. Negative 10/4 could reduce to 5/2. So 5/2. And now right here, we need to still do this part. Negative 1/4 does not simplify, so we're just going to leave it as negative 1/4 x. So now it's almost the way we want it. We usually like the slope right next to the y. So again, if I wanted to rearrange this, I would just have y equals negative 1/4 x minus 5/2. So now your slope, your m is right next to your x, and your intercept is the number coming off of the end. So there's your slope, and there's your intercept.